Well, Happy New Year right here on Double Talk. Mark Steffen with you.
Michael Mandel. Oh, look how I messed my hair.
Joyous day.
Joyous, yes.
Tonight.
Unless you're seeing it Thursday. But
that's true, because we are on at a special time Thursday night, and then we'll be on again Friday night, New Year's Eve.
As well as we're on this morning, which is our normal time, which is Saturday at 11. So you have to watch the show to know which show we're on. And then Tuesday, right? And you can always catch us on YouTube.
Anytime you like.
Just go to, what's the name of the show? Double Talk, either write Mark or Michael, because otherwise you get some guy who does some double talking who was on Oprah.
Now, there's a lot of things going on, of course, tonight.
Obviously,
being,
yes.
If you're watching us Saturday, tonight being New Year's Eve. Things going on all over town.
We did this, last year for 2011, and look how happy that turned out.
Well, there's a lot of places you can go tonight.
There is?
Yes, you've got to be careful, though. The drinking and driving thing. The cops will be out big time.
There's a new club opening.
That's right. There's a new club opening. There's also something new going on tonight at, right around midnight. For the first time ever, right here on Channel 98, we will be going live.
On air.
And we will be doing a New Year's Eve party on location. It's a secret location, Michael.
What's the secret?
The
location is a secret.
That's right. Only those who have invitations know where it is.
But what's not a secret is you can see it on Channel 98 at midnight tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to start just before midnight.
Tonight's Saturday.
And it'll run just before an hour. There'll be singing, there'll be music, there'll
hot
be drinking,
tubs,
dancing, who knows what.
Sexy burlesque girls. We have no idea what's going to be there.
There'll be television producers and co-hosts.
Personally, I will be relaxing with one of my favorite beverages. This is Vive Coco, but we're not having that. We're having either Mums or
Gold Duck.
Moet Chandon.
Oh, really?
One of those, yes.
No Dom?
Do we have Dom? I don't know. We have some good ones.
$100 a bottle.
I suppose.
$120 a bottle.
Yeah, and the champagne is extra. It's just
for the bottle.
Yes. So yes, it's a good time to be out there, right? Champagne is a good drink for New Year's. Why is that?
I'm not sure why.
It works quickly.
It's bubbly. It's festive.
Bubbles get into your system faster and make you happy without getting solid drunk like we do when we drink vodka. I mean the royal we,
The collective we.
The collective we. We drink, stronger stuff, and that really sets in. But the Vive, here, you can't see that because, of course, he picked it.
That's the
We're not necessarily
bottle.
pushing Vive. We just happen to have that. We also, you can do, this is the Blue Teal. If you want to get fancy bottles from Blue Teal, they make your bottles. They put your name on it. They say Happy New Year. And Blue Teal is also known as St. Clair.
Same ownership.
Same people.
Winery.
Same winery. They just put different bottles on. And the Kier, the Royal Kier, is very popular. It was the only thing that kept them in business these 18 or 20 years.
The raspberry flavored?
The raspberry flavored sparkling wine. Sparkling wines are good this time of the year.
Sure. Now, where do you get this fancy champagne you like so much?
You can go to the store.
Which store do you prefer?
I don't know where I got these. I don't remember it.
Walgreens?
Probably you have to go to Celebrate.
I mean, you can't get it
Celebrate,
at Walmart.
You can get it you shouldn't go to Walmart. You should go to Specs in El Paso. Specs in El Paso has everything. You can get Vive Clicquot. One of my favorites is Moet Chandon. That's a cute little hat there. That's cute.
That's me.
Yes. You don't look as old as you did with your top hat. So what do you prefer?
I like Cristal.
Oh, in the back of your black limousine?
Yes, I like to
roll with the homies
through the hood as we
with your
drink the Cristal, dog.
Wasn't that in your movie? All those homies in your thing?
I don't think those old gals.
You don't only have to use champagne. You could do Prosecco. You can do, the Spanish have cava. America has called sparkling wine. It's whatever they have, it's sparkling wine. What are you going to wear now? I don't know. We just change things around. It's cute. This is getting kind of hot. Hot hat.
Well, they are made of plastic.
Yes, but only the finest quality plastic.
That's true. So listen, have a good time tonight. Watch our watch Channel 98 tonight if you've got nothing better to do for New Year's Eve.
Even if you do have something better to do. You know, New Year's is one of those tense times because it's pivotal. You think it's pivotal. It's not really pivotal, is it? I mean, you're going to live the same life you are next year. Of course. You're just making it a symbolic change.
Well, if you join us just before 12 o'clock, you can watch us count down to midnight and then roll with us for the next hour or so as we party live right here on Channel 98, New Year's Eve/New Year's Day.
Does our countdown involve dropping the ball, or do we just drop our jaws?
We
drop our, not draws.
Our pants.
Drop our jaws, not our draws.
Our drawers.
Although perhaps the burlesque girls at midnight will do that. So if you want to see some good burlesque, tune in here at midnight. Meanwhile, we have lots of things to go over. This looks festive too. Doesn't it look like it's an insect? It looks like it's floating out there.
Okay, now, speaking of the holiday, we still have the holidays upon us.
Tomorrow is the last day of Kwanzaa, if you're watching this on Saturday.
Right, and if it's watching it on here tonight, Thursday, well then...
it's many days later.
It's still Kwanzaa.
Yeah, so...
Get your Kwanzaa on if you haven't done so yet.
40 million people around the world are celebrating Kwanzaa. I don't think I quite know how to celebrate it. I believe it's celebrated with a meal and with your family, which is many holidays.
Well, they have like the 7 days of Kwanzaa, or 7 facets to Kwanzaa. I'm not going to go into them all now.
Might be the 6 days because they have 6 candles, plus what the Jews call the shamas, which is what you use to light the other candles. But we went over this last week.
But the Kwanzaa has been around with us for about 45 years or so now.
Yes,
it's
the 45th anniversary.
Invented back in the 60s, and it's an African American celebration
to go with the civil rights movement
of the year end.
Jews, on the other hand, did Hanukkah because they got some independence about, 2,500 years ago. Something like that.
Okay.
And Christmas only started in the 1800s.
In this country?
No, I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know.
One could say it was started at Jesus Christ's birthday.
25 AD.
Well, in this country...
but it wasn't Christmas then because they didn't know who he was until many years later when the Catholic Church started and created the holiday.
Well, in this country, it's only been around for about 200 years, 250 years.
Well, a lot of our traditions have only been around for 200 years. We got the German tradition of Santa Claus, Saint Nick.
Well, see, before the Pilgrims arrived, the American Indians weren't into Christmas at all.
They weren't?
They had better things to do, apparently.
What they celebrate on January? December 25th.
Living another day and having something to eat.
Getting some more corn? Because they gave all their food to the Pilgrims.
Well, that'll teach them.
Before the Pilgrims came. They gave all their land and food to the Pilgrims. Now, but we won't talk about that because it's a time of festivities. And the good thing about New Year's, which we're talking about, and all holidays, is that you're theoretically able to forget all the things you're worried about and try to celebrate. And that's one of the good things you should do is celebrate because it's fun. You can worry during the day or you can worry during your work week. So one time a year, just let your troubles float away and be happy, unless, of course, you can't afford anything to celebrate with. In that case, you should just be happy
or you can run for president.
You could do that. Almost everybody is running for president now.
Apparently so. I don't know, looking at the Republican group of people running for president.
Is that Martin Sheen?
It's kind of like, no, that's Gary Johnson.
Oh, Gary Johnson.
You kind of think, it's like walking down the street in San Francisco and deciding which mime you want to watch for 3 minutes.
Just like that.
Anyway, Gary Johnson, former governor of New Mexico, who is totally dismissed by his own party, has decided to quit the Republican Party, become a Libertarian, and run as a Libertarian.
I don't think he really had to decide to leave it. I think they left him. They wouldn't let him get into any of the debates, so he's going to be a Libertarian, which means a lot.
Hey, go for it. Go for it, Gary.
You could become the president of Libertaria.
Libertaria.
Wherever that is. Gary Johnson was an interesting guy. He advocated the legalization of marijuana, which is, if those guys who wanted legalized would ever, get over to the polling booths, maybe it would be legalized.
Well, when I was in college, every law student I know smoked pot, so I assumed it would be legalized within 20 years.
You'd think. You knew 3 law students, though. So that wasn't enough. You should have got to know more law students.
No, I knew plenty.
No, everybody thought it was college, it was cool. I'm sure he still thinks that way. Yet, he'd do better to have more of a Grateful Dead look than a white supremacist look, don't you think?
Well, he doesn't have that kind of
Not that I'm calling Gary Johnson a white supremacist.
Aryan look about him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like what people take to be your normal hippie guy.
Well, we won't have that problem with Evelyn Madrid Earhart, who's running against Steve Pierce for U.S. Congress.
Right, because she has long hair.
She's from, she doesn't really, kind of a short little bob. We don't have a picture of her, but we will next week.
We will?
Yes.
Oh, because 2011, we don't have pictures of Evelyn Madrid
we do.
Earhart.
Her website is up, though, and if you're interested in her candidacy, Democrat for United States Congress.
Yes, that's a
U.S.
good way
Representative,
to say.
District 1.
Filling in for Pierce, hopefully.
Taking over from Pierce. We need to get all the incumbents out, is the way I feel about it.
Right,
she's just the one to do it.
Because what do you have once you get the incumbents out?
New meat.
Recumbents.
Recumbents?
Yes. They just lie down and don't do anything. No, getting the incumbents out is a ridiculous raison d'etre, because everybody who's in Congress is doing different things. Everybody is different.
No, they're doing the same thing.
Just because you're in.
Nothing.
Just because you're... They don't do nothing. They
do
fight
nothing.
each other, and the result is that
nothing.
nothing happens.
Same thing.
Because you have people with two different viewpoints, and when the two viewpoints clash,
it's the
unless
results
you have
that
more
count.
powerful...
Results is what counts. They're not getting anything done.
So
let's get rid of Steve Pierce and see if somebody else can get something done.
Well, I like that idea. But what you're talking about is the Kantian ethic. It's not the sense that you want to do something, but that you need to do it to make it into a valid ethical position. You need a result before you can be considered good. If you want to be a war hero, you can go out and try to be a war hero. But if you don't do anything heroic, therefore you're not a hero.
No, but you could. Yes. I don't know what in the hell you're talking about. But
hey,
you know
we
what?
Went through the whole year.
You're getting me
be
depressed.
Philosophical.
You're getting me depressed already, Michael.
And you came in here pretty cheery because look at that red shirt.
I can just barely do this. But there is a lot of
metaphorically or realistically.
Either way, there is a lot of holiday depression going on. It happens every year. In fact, last weekend there were 5 suicides in Las Cruces.
That's not a good idea.
It's not good. It's it's what they say. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And depression can lead to suicide.
And why are you so depressed at this time of year? Because you're expected to be happy.
I guess you are.
You are.
Well, you're also expected to be with family,
That's
and
cheery.
Quite often you can't do that.
That is not how
it often leads to suicide scenes like we have right here.
Except I think she was merely hanging her clothes, and she forgot to take them off.
Whoops.
So you shouldn't do that. That's an example of what not to do. When I was in college, weren't you speaking about college just a minute ago? I was on a hotline, the Suicide and LSD Trip Prevention line. So people would call up and say that they're thinking of doing one thing or another, or they have done something, and they talk to me. And believe it or not, I would help them out. I know it's hard to believe. I saved maybe 3 people's lives. Well, the other 5, I don't know.
The other 5 you drove to it.
Yes. No,
but, I didn't know this, but there's a statistic that says that suicide kills more people in New Mexico than drunk driving, homicide, and breast cancer combined. And so, that's not a good thing.
You don't want to hear that other thing about that you have to do all 3 at the same time.
No, you don't have to do all 3 at the same time. All combined, as the statistics read. So, suicide's a big thing in New Mexico, and shouldn't be.
Or any place else.
There's a lot of suicides up on the reservations, too.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
there's a lot of depression.
There's a lot of alcohol abuse there, too.
Well, and that's based on depression, a lot of it is. But
you shouldn't drink when you're depressed.
Wait
a second.
That's true.
Because it just makes you more depressed. One thing about intoxicants or any mood enhancer, if you're in a bad mood, you just get worse.
If you're in a good mood, it enhances that. And with that, we've got to take a quick break.
We're going to take a break?
We'll be back, and hopefully we won't be depressed anymore. And we're back on Double Talk, our New Year's party.
We were just talking about things not to do if you're depressed. One thing is do not go see any Beckett plays. Here's a thing I always found helpful when I'm depressed. Listening to Leonard Cohen songs. You know why?
Why?
Because if you're depressed, you listen to Leonard Cohen, you realize you are not as depressed as he is. He is the most depressed. There might be more people who are depressed these days. I'm not up with these hip things. Goths are not that depressed. Leonard Cohen, really depressed.
Well,
what?
So, yeah.
Did you want me to go somewhere with that idea?
Well, I think that's his therapeutic way of getting out of his depression.
Right.
Handing it on to us.
You're depressed, go write a song. If you find out you can't write a song, go write a poem. Everybody can write a poem.
Well, we get rid of our depression by doing this show, don't we?
Well, yes.
We pass our depression on to you folks at home.
And then we look at other things on YouTube that are actually far worse.
Well,
we're going to run the best of Double Talk for 2011. Okay, cue that. And there we go. That's it.
That was it.
Do you see that? That was really good.
Now,
that's the best of.
Well, speaking of depression and suicide and death and so forth, when those things happen, who are you going to call? You're going to call
an ambulance.
You're going to call 911. You're going to call for the fire trucks.
Oh yeah, everybody's going to think that's our best.
That was the best of right there.
Yes.
Okay, electronic graffiti.
Dancing pixels. So fire truck.
We had fire trucks and an ambulance both crashed this week. A fire truck going up Del Rey rolled onto its side, and there it is.
There's the fire truck. So
and then an ambulance going through an intersection ran into a pickup truck.
Well, or a pickup truck ran into it. The question is, you got your lights on, you're an ambulance. The ambulance went through a red light.
It has the right of way, though.
It does. Obviously not then.
But if people don't stop for it, and if they fail to yield, they're going to get a ticket.
There's nobody in the back of that one. I mean, no patient.
They didn't have a patient yet. They were on their way.
Right, so when they crashed into the guy in the truck, they just put the guy in the back and took him.
Well, I don't think anybody was injured.
Nobody was really
but they had to send another ambulance to make up for that one.
Unless, oh yes, that's true. He would have gone to somebody. Well, I wonder what happened with that. Speaking of things that the newspaper never reports, remember last week the Verizon plane? This is just totally different. The Verizon plane, it turned out afterwards, was not a Verizon plane, yet to this day, whatever this day is, either Thursday or Saturday, they have not said what it is. Why would you be flying around low around the area of Sonoma Ranch to find stuff that you could find in a map?
Well,
I mean, really?
Well, because there's a lot of things that aren't on maps that you might want to look for. I'd like to know how low they were flying, because it's illegal to fly below 1,000 feet over a city.
I think it was below 1,000 feet.
And if they were doing that, they were breaking the law, and the FCC should find out who it is.
Yes, but we'll have more about that next year.
Next year?
Yes, everything is next year. That's what's great.
Which is next week. Which is tomorrow if you're watching
we're going to get
on
started.
Saturday.
Right. Or if you're watching on Tuesday, you're in next year.
It's last week.
You know, everybody wants the world to come to an end, and I think the reason is they don't want to pay their mortgage.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it is.
Well, stop paying it now.
And then your world will come to an end very quickly. What are we talking about? Speaking of things that may be coming to an end, that's the segue there.
That's true.
Kmart and Sears. Nobody ever understood, nobody in this town ever understood why Kmart existed anyway. And we were even more surprised when, I know you said that you think Sears bought Kmart. The truth of the matter was, and this happened a few years ago, Kmart actually bought Sears.
I see. So no wonder they're broke.
Hard to believe.
What do you mean? You wonder why Kmart is here? Kmart was here long before Walmart.
Yeah, but that's when Walmart wasn't here, so they actually had business. If you walk into El Paseo Kmart,
it's a ghost town.
The only place you'll see people, there's no people buying anything. It's just the checkout is backed up.
And the pharmacy.
How inefficient they are. Their shelves are stocked. Nobody's buying anything, yet it's backed up at the cashier.
Because you only have one or two registers open.
They have no. I think they have to count out the pennies. I don't know why. So we're sitting here wondering whether one or the other. Sears does pretty well. I mean, that's a good alternative for buying your large appliances. People buy a lot of clothes. There's a lot of competition with JCPenney's. Kohl's puts up massive apparent sales. I was in Kohl's the other day.
Yeah. Target is a...
Target sells decent clothes and stuff, and minor appliances.
And household items.
But Kohl's, I don't get. Yet they're packed because they give buys.
Well, they always have something on sale, like Penny's does.
So yay for stores. Go to, the only store you can buy this at is either, not this, but Champagne, Walmart, or Sam's Club. I hear Sam's Club has some great buys.
Yeah, but but they have a lousy selection of anything.
I'm not arguing for them. Go to Specs in El Paso.
Where is Specs?
It's right behind Johnny Carino's on Sunland Park
Mall
Mall Drive.
You like that better than Liquor Barn?
I don't even know where Liquor Barn is.
They're all over El Paso.
Well, I don't go all over El Paso. I just go to a specific place. Mesa Street. That is all of El Paso, is Mesa Street.
True.
I mean, left or right, Mesa Street. Let's talk about, because you know the show's going to be gone and this year is going to be out, and we have to talk about your favorite subject.
And that is
dogs and cats.
Dogs and cat adoptions.
Yes.
Now, here's a couple of New Year's pooches.
Wait,
ready for adoption. We wanted to be dressed just like they are. And so, yes, there's adoptions this weekend on Saturday on the downtown mall during the farmers market.
Happy New Year.
You can also go to the Environmental Center.
What?
SWEC? Environmental Center, Southwest Environmental Center. We'll be having dogs and cats
on the downtown mall
to be adopted, and of course at the animal shelter up on Bataan Highway.
So won't you be kind and give an animal a new home for 2012?
Yes.
And hopefully beyond?
And they will love you for it.
If you want pets that you don't really have to take care of for a long time, get fish.
Fish.
Right. Lox.
And then you can always eat them.
You could always, they die, you flush them down the toilet. I know I'm being totally cruel, but nobody has really watched to this point in our show, I don't think so. So I don't have to worry about being cruel to fish. I was thinking about fish are great pets. You know, you're not allergic to them.
With them.
You don't have to cuddle. You want to cuddle, buy one of those long pillows. That would do it. You can kiss them. You could kiss your fish.
Sure.
You can go kiss somebody else's fish.
Fish lips.
Yes. If you're looking for affection from an animal,
fish ain't it.
I don't know. You're not going to get necessarily affection from a dog or a cat. You just get their furry little warm body.
No, you get affection. They're very affectionate animals.
You could also
seek it out.
They what? They seek out affection. Cats don't seek out affection.
Oh,
they seek out scratching.
They do from me.
Scratching. Well.
No. They come and they lay on your chest and they purr and they drool and they love you.
Aren't you talking about that woman you live with?
Well. That too.
Good thing she's not listening.
But speaking of other things to do,
yes.
On Saturday,
cats.
Today, actually,
what are we talking about? Oh,
today, 1:30 at the Fountain Theater. If you're watching on Saturday, they're showing "Lust in the Dust."
Great campy film, right?
Campy film made in New Mexico
with Divine.
It's a western and Tab Hunter.
And
Leni
Kazan.
Yeah, it's a wonderful little film. I really like it a lot. Paul Bartel directed it.
Tab Hunter's an excellent actor.
And, it's a great little film.
And so is Divine an excellent actor.
I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. That's at 1:30 today. It's only $4.
Fountain Theater. It's a local thing to do.
Support
your local arts.
It is. And then tonight, also at the Fountain Theater at 7:30, we have the Desert Dolls Burlesque Show once again. Coming to the Fountain Theater. These are some of the great gals that do the show.
That's right.
Can
you jiggle that picture around? Jiggle it around so it looks more like their show.
No,
go between the two pictures and see what happens.
There's no nudity or anything like that, so you can bring the whole family. Right. It's a lot of fun.
And perhaps you don't want nudity in this show.
These girls are into the art of burlesque. And this may be one of the last shows they do here for a while.
This year?
For a while.
This year?
This year, certainly. So that's tonight at 7:30, and it's only $10 to get into the show.
That sounds like a good deal. You have nothing else to do.
At the Fountain
Theater. If you're loaded.
After the show's over, then you can go out and celebrate New Year's Eve.
In Mesilla Plaza. You could. Oh, here's that new club.
Well, you've got El Patio over
Passion Ultra Lounge at Ramada Inn. I mean, I know we're not advertising them, but it's kind of interesting that they're trying an
upscale type of lounge.
It's a Las Vegas type of place. It's got leather cushions and I don't know what else, but we're going to try it. You can get lunch there. We'll go there for lunch.
We'll stop in and report back like we always do.
Yes, not after New Year's, but at some point.
No. This time of year is a great time to go to the movies.
It is?
It is.
Okay.
I've seen a few movies over the holiday season. I'm sure you have too.
Yes.
One of the films I know we both saw was Hugo, the Martin Scorsese picture.
Which was wonderful in the sense that...
I loved it. It was in 3D.
It was Scorsese's first 3D picture, yet it featured the genesis of the beginning of movie making, which was wonderful. It goes back and looks at when it's first started.
Filmmaking, it's about film history, it's about film preservation, all of which are Scorsese's pet projects.
And it's exciting.
And it's unlike anything he's ever done before. I liked it quite a bit.
Makes it, there's tension, there's crazy stuff going on, and it's 3D. Can't knock 3D.
Now, another big director's got two films out, surprisingly enough. That's Steven Spielberg with War Horse.
2D.
It's in 2D, old-fashioned 2D. I liked it a lot.
Very old-fashioned.
I give it an A+ all the way around.
You're an easy grader.
No, it's quite a good
Is it
film.
good?
And yeah, I recommend it.
You know, it takes a lot for you to like a movie.
Well,
Because, yeah. But you haven't seen the other one, Tintin.
I have not seen the other Spielberg film.
Tintin is, I saw that. I like it because it's 3D. Three
of them.
I don't think it was as good as Hugo, but it was
Really?
It was an adventure movie, sort of like Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's a lot of adventurous stuff. Stuff's going on. It's done in a crazy pseudo-cartoon realistic technique that
Motion
is
capture.
different.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing that myself probably this weekend.
It should be good. Oh, look, it's still Happy New Year's.
Well, with that, it's time for us to say
is it?
Goodbye.
Don't forget, tonight,
it's
live
our last
on air,
time this year that we'll be saying goodbye.
12 o'clock. Tune in at midnight to see
tonight
not us, but other things happening.
Saturday night, our live show, New Year's Eve party, spectacular.
Spectacular.
After hours. It's an after hours rave.
You're not going to do anything else after New Year's. Might as
And
well
that's
watch
it.
that.
And now we have to say goodbye.
Happy New Year.